We are really happy that you're here today. Thank you for joining us here in Austin. Many old friends here, many new friends. We're very excited to have you. We're very excited to have folks watching us online today. This is just really a great day. I'm Paul Rosenthal. I'm the Acting Chief Communications Officer for the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the USPTO. And we're here today to recognize innovation and entrepreneurship. We're here today to honor inventors. We're here today to celebrate history and to make history. And we're here today to put the spotlight on a key facet of the American way of life. Specifically, we're here to celebrate patents. The United States has been issuing patents to inventors for well over 200 years, and later this year, the USPTO is going to be issuing patent number 10 million. In recognition of that milestone, we're giving a whole new look to U.S. patents for only the second time in more than 100 years. And in a moment, you're all going to see it for the first time. To help us tell this story, we're joined today by the Commissioner for Patents and also by the Director of the USPTO, whose signature is on these patents. We're also joined by two accomplished inventors who will tell us their story and the role that patents have played in their careers. So to get the ball rolling, please welcome Commissioner for Patents, Drew Hirschfeld.
Thank you, Paul, for that very kind introduction. It's great to be here at South by Southwest, and I'm honored, as you heard from Paul, to be here with our new Undersecretary of Commerce for Intellectual Property and the USPTO Director, Andre Iancu. Also joining us is our National Inventors Hall of Fame inductee, Bob Metcalf, and Suzanne Cohane, an IBM Master Inventor. South by Southwest is all about creativity and innovation, so I can think of no more fitting place to unveil our new patent design. Nor can I think of a more fitting time. Later this year, and after more than 2 centuries of issuing patents, the USPTO will grant patent number 10 million. Every day, the USPTO's patent examiners carefully review thousands of patent applications. Our examiners are over 8,000 men and women from all across America with degrees in science and engineering. They examine the newest ideas and breakthroughs, any of which could truly change the world. Indeed, through U.S. history, inventors have transformed our society with their inventive and innovative ideas, their intellectual property. And they've protected them with patents. Think of names like Bell, Edison, DuPont, Ford, Gillette, Kellogg, and Wright, and technologies such as the telephone, electricity, and the airplane. The greatest technological advances come from the creative minds of inventors, and throughout history, their ideas have helped create new jobs, businesses, and entire industries. They've had a profound impact on the ways we live and the ways we work. I can still remember how thrilling it was when something that I knew would be impactful came across my desk when I was a new patent examiner over 20 years ago. I remember thinking to myself, wow, I can't wait until I see what impacts this has on society. Most patent examiners, at one point or another, have experienced that same feeling. We're very proud of the work we do with inventors to help them craft, shape, and define their rights so their innovative ideas are properly protected. The U.S. patent system serves as a reminder that our nation values and continues to be built by those who are willing to take risks, challenge traditions, push the boundaries of convention, and test new limits in design and thought. So thank you all for being here to witness this very exciting moment in the history of our great patent system, and more to the point, the history of U.S. patents. Thank you.
So how does a patent work? And how did we go about creating a new design for it? Here's a 2-minute video with some of the answers.
A patent is truly a significant document both for the inventor and the public which enjoys the benefit of the discovery. The patent provides the right to the inventor to exclude others from making, using, selling, or importing their invention without their permission. It also clearly reflects their creativity, their ingenuity, dedication, and hard work.
In the last 200 years, the patent cover has undergone over a dozen design changes, though in the last century, the design has only changed twice. We looked to a lot of the historic patent designs for inspiration, though I quickly realized there was not a lot of information out there, and we really had to turn over some rocks in order to gather enough examples for us to work from. Some of the best examples we found were from the 19th century. These were incredibly intricate, ornate documents from a bygone era. They looked like what you'd expect to see on currency or stock certificates, and the designs really conveyed the value of what they represented. Looking at these historic designs, it became clear that what we created would have to convey that same sense of value. A team of USPTO designers combined efforts to create the new patent cover. I asked each member of the team to design an improvement to the existing patent cover, a classic version inspired by some of the historical examples, and an anything-goes, clean sheet of paper approach. As designers, a lot of what we work on comes and goes very quickly, so to be able to work on something of such historical significance is a once-in-a-career opportunity. These patent covers will persist for generations in museum collections, in libraries, on the walls of an inventor's great-grandchild. That's something we're all very proud of.
Jeff Isaacs, the lead designer for the patent you're going to see in a moment, is right over here. Jeff, why don't you give a wave? So in a moment, we're going to unveil that design, and then you're going to hear from our two guest inventors. But first, I'd like to introduce you to the Undersecretary of Commerce for Intellectual Property and the Director of the USPTO, Andrei Iancu.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you, everybody, for coming here, new faces and old faces. Special welcome to Congressman Darrell Issa from California, the member of Congress with the most patents currently sitting. Thank you, Darrell. Thank you for being here. It is my great pleasure to be here with all of you as we unveil a new design of the United States patent, a document steeped in America's economic and cultural history. The American patent system is as old as our nation. One of the earliest laws passed by the first Congress of the United States was the Patent Act of 1790. President George Washington signed the first U.S. patent on July 31, 1790. A copy of it is right here at the left, to inventor Samuel Hopkins for making potash. After issuing patents for almost 228 years, we will grant patent number 10 million just a little bit later this year. Over that time, and backed by our patent system, American ingenuity has been at the forefront of every major scientific and technological revolution. Commissioner Hirschfeld mentioned some of our great inventors, like Edison, Bell, the Wright brothers. There, of course, have been many others across industries and across time. We are privileged to have two of them with us here today, both brilliant and tenacious inventors, and, as a special treat, both local to Austin. Bob Metcalf is Professor of Innovation and Murchison Fellow of Free Enterprise at the University of Texas here in Austin. By the age of 10, Bob knew he wanted to become an electrical engineer and to attend MIT. Well, he did that, and followed that up with a master's and a PhD from Harvard. In 1972, Bob began working at Xerox's Palo Alto Research Center, where he met electrical and radio engineer D.R. Boggs. With Boggs, Bob invented what came to be known as the Ethernet, the local area network technology that turns PCs into communication devices by linking them together across the globe. Eventually, the technology he invented would be used to link together more than 50 million PCs worldwide. In 1979, Bob left Xerox and founded 3M Corporation. Bob was awarded the National Medal of Technology by President George W. Bush in 2003 for his leadership in invention, standardization, and commercialization of the Ethernet. Bob is a patent holder, and in 2007, he was inducted into our National Inventors Hall of Fame. We will hear from Bob in just a few minutes. We are also honored to be joined here today by Suzanne Cohane. Suzanne holds a bachelor's degree in computer engineering from the University of Florida and a master's in software engineering from the University of Texas at Austin. Currently IBM's global research leader for the Aging Initiative here in Austin, Suzanne is an expert in enabling human ability through emerging technologies. Her current research includes, among other things, cognitive IoT sensor systems for elder care. Why does she do this? Well, because of her grandmother, Suzanne tells, who suffered an aneurysm when she was in her 80s. And her grandmother's determination to learn to walk and talk again, despite daunting challenges, is what inspires Suzanne. For over 10 years, she has focused her research on accessible technology for people with disabilities and the aging population. Her inventions combine cognitive technology, the Internet of Things, and other emerging technologies to improve quality of life for those in need. And amazingly, Suzanne is an IBM Master Inventor who is named on 114 United States patents. We will hear from Suzanne shortly as well. Actually, please join me in welcoming both Bob and Suzanne here today. They exemplify the brilliance of American invention, working within the context of our intellectual property system. It is no accident that all this fantastic innovation, continuously flowing since the founding of our republic, happened here in the United States, where patent rights are written into our Constitution with the explicit goal of promoting human progress. With American patents, humans made light, began to fly, enabled instant communications, treated disease and disability, and generally, as was said of Thomas Edison, pushed, quote, the whole world ahead in its march to the highest civilization, close quote. Our patents incentivize and protect these remarkable advances in the human condition. And our patents are an indelible record of these human achievements, forever new, forever urging us ahead. Yet, unlike the inventions it covers, the design of the US patent has changed only once over the last 100 years. And now, in 2018, with the issuance of our 10 millionth patent, it will be the second time. Our new cover, through design, typography, and printing, is a forward-looking, contemporary take on the significance of what the document represents, with a particular emphasis on the value of a patent and its role in the future of our economic and cultural growth. And to reinforce the historical significance of the document and its roots in the founding of the Republic, we included, along with 19th century type, some key words from the Constitution's Progress Clause. Just imagine the inventions this new cover will document. New compounds that treat disease, new processes that alleviate thirst and hunger, new machines that take humans to other planets, new devices that can think and create on their own, and it will document science and technology that we cannot even contemplate today. This new cover will document our future. So now, I'd like to invite Commissioner for Patents Drew Hirschfield, who's already up here, inventors Bob Metcalf and Suzanne Cohane, to join me in unveiling our brand new patent design.
No peeking. Ladies and gentlemen, the new design for the U.S. patent that'll debut later this year with patent number 10 million. I would like now to invite National Medal of Technology winner and National Inventors Hall of Fame inductee Bob Metcalf to the podium.
My first interaction with patents was going to the Xerox Palo Alto Research Center in 1972. That research center was paid for by revenue based on the patents on the copier, the Xerox copier. Then that building was filled with some of the world's first personal computers, and I got the job of connecting them together. And out of that came a thing called Ethernet. Right now, Ethernet is the plumbing of the internet, and there's about I've lost track, but there's 1 or 2 billion Ethernet ports shipped every year now. And I only get $1 for each one. The patent had an unusual history because shortly after it was filed in 75, issued in 77, which means it's expired already, so I don't get the $1 anymore, as if I ever did. We then decided to make Ethernet into a standard to connect all the devices in the world into the internet. And the standards body, IEEE Project 802, insisted that if we were to make a standard, we couldn't charge royalties on our patent. We had to make our patent available to anyone on a reasonable basis. So Xerox agreed to issue a worldwide, perpetual, non-exclusive license to the patent, the Ethernet patent, for $1,000. So that ended my $1 a port. But then something very interesting happened. In agreeing to license this patent to anyone who wanted, there were 2 stipulations in the agreement. To license this technology, you had to agree to conform to the industry standard and to do your address administration through the facility that had been developed for that by Xerox. And this cemented the standard. That is, it caused a lot of people to focus their energy on developing a standard Ethernet as opposed to variations on this patent. And so today we, as I said, we're now enjoying the internet and billions of connections patented and provided by Ethernet. Thank you very much.
And now I'd like to invite inventor Suzanne Cohane of IBM to say a few words.
It's quite impressive to follow Bob. I don't feel like I should be here. I want to just give a little bit of a different background. As a kid, I was always curious with how the world worked. And that's how I became an engineer. And the first inventor I ever met was in an internship with IBM. His name is Nadeem Malik, and he's actually still at IBM. And in his office, there was a US patent hanging on his wall. And of course, I'm really curious. I wanted to know everything about it. He was an inventor. How did he get his first patent? And what I left from that conversation was, I too could be an inventor. And sometimes just opening the door to possibility is all you really need to do for someone. So from that point on, I never looked at the world the same. Everything was a problem to be solved. Every solution could be done better. And I just always would tinker and think and invent and brainstorm with people at my company and say, can we do something in this space? Can we make the world better? So I really enjoyed the patent process. I love working through a novel idea, trying to understand the implementation, and really getting to the point of filing a patent application. I often tell people it's like my creative outlet in life. But I have to tell you, to be perfectly honest, I was horrible at it at first. I tried and tried and tried, and I really couldn't find anything novel yet. You have to kind of refine your skill, and sometimes when you're really bad at something is when you become really good at something. Failure is okay. And as noted, I now have 114 patents. But it did take a lot of tries before I really kind of refined my skill. And I'm really lucky to work at a company that really fosters innovation. I highly recommend mentors. I had many throughout my career, especially in innovation, and now as an IBM Master Inventor, I am a mentor to many. And there's nothing more enjoyable than someone that knocks on my door and says, "You have a patent? How did you get it?" And I can share with them my journey and help them achieve their goals. So IBM inventors like myself, we just reached our 25th consecutive year of US patent leadership. As a company, we just crossed 100,000 patents. That's kind of incredible, right? So I'm really confident that I'm gonna have one of these new ones showing up in the mail, and hopefully not just one, I hope I get many, many more. So thank you so much.
Well, folks, we don't know yet what patent number 10 million is going to be or when it's going to be issued this year, but we invite you to tune in and take a look at it as we get through 2018. In the meantime, I want to thank our guest inventors who've joined us. I very much want to thank Director Iancu and Commissioner Hirschfeld. And on behalf of all of the employees of the United States Patent and Trademark Office, thank you for joining us today and being part of this celebration of a big part of American history. Thank you.